What up, people? Good evening, friendos. It's Saturday, March 28th. Time for your weekend chill out with me, your main man in the man cave, Donnie V. Don Vermillion. What's up, people? Just coming up live, getting ready to rumble on Saturday night down here in the man cave. Lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Got some big school news, got some birthdays, got a brand new top 10 coming at you live and direct, all the way from Rexdale. What? There needs to be like a west, is it west? I guess Rexdale. West side, Rexdale. That's right. But before we get started, the first thing we got to do, as you know on the show, wash your hands. That's right. We got to wash your hands. Let's get that going there. Yeah. Refreshing and clean. All right, as you know, the show brought to you by the good friends at Diet Coke. Crack one of those to get started, and Royale with cheese. No cheese, just Royale tissue paper. It's what's best for your butt. I feel like that is their new marketing slogan. I'm just saying. What's best for your butt should be the new marketing slogan. And of course, as always, our friends at Corona Beer. Corona Beer does not cause the coronavirus. Also, you can give me some royalties for that marketing slogan, Corona. You're welcome. All right. What is up? What's going on in the world? Wow, it has been a busy time. We're smoothing on into our third weekend of quarantine. It's a time. With two little kids, let me tell you, it is a great time. All right. Hopefully everyone can, let me just adjust the mic a bit. We can all hear me okay, I hope. We on? Are we on? I'm getting no feedback from the audience, so I'm assuming we're on. Axum. All right. So what's up? Well, first off, the big news, if you were with us yesterday, Donnie V got salsa. I have eaten some of it, but Donnie V got salsa. Salsa. Anyways, yes, we have salsa for quite some time. So yeah, as I've discovered, there's only so much salsa you can eat in a sitting before you're like, that was a good amount of salsa. But we do have salsa. So first we'll talk about some actual news, as always. Big school update, big news in the school department. And then we're going to talk about some of the more interesting stories. And the top 10 tonight, it is a special all-Trump edition of the top 10 tonight. It's comedy gold. Unintentional comedy gold, which is perhaps why Trump's greatest strength is the unintentional humor he creates when he opens his yap hole. So, All right. So, first off, our segment, Do Your Part, What's New with Trudeau's Hair? Well, our boy Trudeau went on TV again, and everything's getting alarming because the virus is still spreading. It is. It's spreading fast. Now, Canada has kept it under a little more control than our American friendos, which we will get to in a second in our traditional second segment. But he announced today some new travel restrictions, internal travel restrictions in the country. If you're getting on a plane, even for domestic travel, meaning like you're flying from like Montreal to Ottawa or something, or a train or other mode of public transit, you will not be allowed on if you have any cold or flu-like symptoms. Now, obviously, he even pointed this out. You can mask those symptoms with some good Tylenol or something before, but he's hoping Canadians use some common sense, hopefully more than our American counterparts, who are still partying like it's 1999 down there. But except in New York. New York's got problems. But yeah, and then our chief medical officer went on TV today and said that we've got a long haul for this stuff. Said we're looking at many more months before we're clear of the virus, and we can expect it to come back kind of over and over again because we'll like ease up on restrictions, and then hey, guess who's back? It'll basically it's a bad Stallone franchise. Just when you think you've had the last of it, he makes another sequel. So that's what's up. Coronavirus, Sylvester Stallone, not entirely dissimilar. All right, now time for America's Gonna Get Us All Killed. I had been playing the national anthem on theirs, in the background for the America's Gonna Get Us All Killed segment, but I discovered that you can't hear a damn thing on the audio. However, I have some new software we're going to try to introduce next week, which I'll talk about more in the school section of things. And it lets me play audio at full steam, as well as like have the graphics and the pictures, and I can change the scene, and I can pop up. I'm talking about Trump, and there's this big stupid head that pops up. It's going to be just like a real deal news broadcast with way lower production values. Because I'll be clicking as I talk. So there'll be like dramatic pauses while I change scenes and stuff. But we're going to try. I could probably use a better camera and mic. I heard like this little teenagery kid doing a YouTube broadcast today, and he sounded like, I don't know, like Morgan Freeman in the movies, man. He was like, so listen, here's what you need to do when you're setting up your video stream. And he was all smooth. And I was like, why does he sound so good? And then I realized he had like this huge mic with like that fluffy thing on it and the whole. I gotta get one because man, you think I sound good now? Just wait till I get a fluffy mic up in my face. That sounded weird. All right, so America's gonna get us all killed. They're over 100,000 now, closing in on 110, 120,000 people. Always got to be first, but New York and New Orleans, it is no joke. They are struggling right now. New York estimates they need somewhere around 20 to 30,000 ventilators, and were offered by the government 400. Yes, not going to do the job. And there seems to be this push towards the media's overdoing the panic. Because in 90% of cases, it is like kind of a very bad cold sort of deal. But the problem is I learned a new word today. I had heard the word before. I didn't know what it meant, but now you're all going to know what it means. Comorbidity. This is apparently, Donnie V's brother's a doctor, so I'm able to like verify these medical terms. Not that that makes me any kind of an expert, but he knows stuff, and then I ask him, and then I tell you. So I mean, it's like just like coming from the horse's mouth. But comorbidity. This is where you have like a second condition, a pre-existing second condition that already makes when you get the coronavirus way worse. So what they're seeing is, yeah, it's only like 1 or 2% of people who are regular healthy folks. I touched my face again. 1 or 2% of people who are regular healthy folks. But if you have a secondary condition like high blood pressure or diabetes seems to be a bad one, or oldness, also a problem. These asthma, I have a little bit of asthma, but not like death asthma, fortunately. But any of these things, when you get pneumonia on a good day, are really bad for you. And not that there's ever a good day to get pneumonia, but you know what I mean. But when you get coronavirus style pneumonia, it is bad news bears. You're looking at like sometimes like 8-10% death rates or higher, which is why you're seeing disproportionate numbers in a lot of places. And also because they don't have proper testing. So there's a lot of people walking around who are infected and don't even know it. And exciting times. But when you consider, you're like, 1% of people, we could kind of take a risk. And that seems to be a lot of things in the States. Like herd immunity, we'll be okay. I'm like, you are the same people that said vaccines cause autism. Shut up. But yeah, so 1% of people not, but when you get into like 8-10% of people, that means like 1 out of every 10 people you know could die in these scenarios if they have one of these secondary illnesses. So and then there's like random people who are like perfectly healthy, you don't know anything's wrong, and then they die. So we don't want that. We don't want dying. So America, stop trying to kill us all. Please, you have enough guns. Do it that way. We were expecting that. If it was a nuclear bomb or shootings and stuff, we'd be like, yeah, America, we kind of expected it. But the virus, stop helping it, man. Anyways, which brings me to our segment, Don't Be an Idiot. And If you've noticed anything about emergency times, there is no shortage of idiots. There are a veritable plethora of stupids out there. And let me tell you, Doug Ford is all about calling them out. I love it. You thought I was going to say he's an idiot, and there have been times he's an idiot, but coronavirus has brought out the best in Dougie, which both surprising and interesting. But yes, the best in Dougie. He's bringing it down the hammer on the gougers. Says he's going to throw the book at them. We're coming after you. And he's like pointing dramatically. We will shut you down. He's got the hand gestures. Dougie ain't taking no mess. Pusateri's, I'm looking at you. $30 for the Lysol wipes. I know. What? Their CEO, though, he clarified it all today. He cleared it up for us. He said the price change was, quote, an oversight that led to incorrect pricing. Yes. I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to sell, or buy, let's say, fish sticks in the cafeteria, and it was supposed to be $4, and they told me it was $80. I mean, that's just an oversight that could happen to anyone, right? Pusateri's, do better. Maro. If you have someone to shame, other than a student, because we don't want to do cyberbullying, except maybe Cove Bell. We could poke fun at him a little, just saying. But if you have someone to shame, let Donnie V know. Someone's hoarding or being a general corona jerk, you let Donnie V know. We'll tell him here, Doug Ford style, with hand gestures and everything. All right. Which brings me to our school update. We got a big update today from a variety of sources. And the word from on high, I don't want to say specifics because we've heard from a couple different sources, but the general consensus is this. Next week is like a communication week where your teachers have been asked to get in touch with you in some way and just see what kind of electronic capabilities you have. Did you fill out the survey? By the way, if you didn't fill out the survey that got sent around, have your parents fill out the survey. They received it. But they're asking you, did you fill out the survey? Can you, what kind of, stuff have you been doing? They encourage you to do reviewing and so on. And then if teachers have the ability, they're allowed to roll out some stuff. I will be, because I do have the capability, as you can see right here. But it's not mandatory per se. And then the week after, which April 6th, when you were supposed to be going back in the first place, they're hoping to have official here's what's happening plan. But I heard it straight from the horse's mouth today. Well, not actually a horse, but administration folk. They have told me that there will be credits given this semester. So big news. There will be credits given this semester. So if you do the work, you get the credit. If you're in my class, I will certainly be delivering the stuff for you to do. What that's going to look like, probably scale back from the volume of stuff you would otherwise have. For me personally, you'll be seeing this mug on YouTube. I'll have a live broadcast a couple times a week, I'm hoping to do, and it'll be recorded, and then you can do the work that I talk about in the recording. The overlay I've got is sweet. I can't wait. I'm going to unveil it on the show too, because it's good times, but it's got like me over here, like so, and then over here is like the PowerPoint, and then under here is like my comments and stuff or my notes that I can pop up, and then over here's a little chat window where you can ask the questions, and it's got a logo and a frame and it's fancy pants, let me tell you. All right, so I will say that I stole it from like a Twitch stream and then photoshopped it, but it looks good, so I'll take it. Anyways, that is what's up. So you can expect a more detailed rollout the week after is the plan. That's the news part of the show from the man cave. Now we have other stuff to talk about. First of all, horoscope. I mentioned the horoscope the other day, how it was failing. And I thought, surely. No, Diane. No, yes, surely. Oh, terrible joke. Have you ever seen the movie Airplane? That was funny. Otherwise, it was not to you. But I thought, surely horoscopes now have caught up with the times and are not giving dated advice anymore. Not dating advice, dated advice. Well, I looked up a couple, and let me tell you, here are two of my favorites from the day. Horoscope number one. You've been slightly less available to others and slightly more off by yourself. Take some time to get together with friends and family and recharge your health. You'll be incredibly more creative, inspired, and available to the world. Also, more dead. But yes, I like the recharge your health. Excellent advice while gathering with others. This is the kind of thing that's going to get us all killed. And then the second one, I was like, surely there cannot be a worse one than this. Oh, how wrong I was, my friends. Here it is. I'll read it in a more serious voice. The world is changing fast, and what worked for your parents just isn't going to work for you. Past generations have much to offer you, and you have just as much to offer them. Why not visit an elderly relative who you might have lost some connection with recently? Yes. Excellent. Go visit your grandparents. I didn't say that, the horoscope did, but don't do that. It's a terrible idea. But that's what's going on with the horoscopes. Also interesting, I read recently, not only are coronababies a thing, I don't know if you've heard about this, but they're expecting this baby boom, like a mini one, kind of like after World War II, but we were lazier, so who knows? But they're expecting this little baby boom because we're all cooped up indoors. Well, on the flip side, China, who's recently coming out of the quarantine or starting to, has seen a massive spike in what they are calling Covidivorces. Yes, not corona babies, Covidivorces. Turns out extensive living with your spouse on a day-to-day nonstop basis is a great cause for divorce. By some miracle, I am still married. I wouldn't be to me, but she sometimes finds me funny. And look at that smile right there. That's right. But anyways, yes, apparently Covidivorces and coronababies. Those are the new words. I wonder if they will make the Merriam-Webster dictionary of new words. Quick shouts to the chat. Frequent flyers. What's up, Carolina and Ivan and Logan? Nice to hear from everybody. It's Saturday, so I hope everyone took my advices, or the other folks who are not here. I mean, I don't have as many numbers as usual, but hopefully they are doing the Netflix watching with the parents that I recommended or something like that. Either way, get some popcorn, but don't sprinkle M&Ms in the popcorn. That's disgusting. Only my wife does that, and it's gross. They shouldn't be mixed together. You have M&Ms here, popcorn here. They don't go together. They go together in. They don't go together out. That's the way of the world. What are you going to do? Thanks for pointing that out in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So where are we talking here? Birthdays. Got some birthdays. Vince Vaughn. Happy birthday. Lady Gaga. Happy birthday. And Frederick Pabst. You were born in 1836 and died a long time ago, like 1904 something. But happy birthday to you, one of the first brewers in North America. Pabst beer, still a thing. Frederick Pabst, props to my boy Freddie. Jay Quan, the one-hit wonder, you might have heard of him, made a song called Tipsy and then was never heard from again, except on featurings in other guys' tracks because he was trying to make a comeback but wasn't very good. And finally, a special birthday shout-out, Julia Stiles. Julia Stiles, you're 39 today. Happy birthday, girl. Your boy Donnie V has had a crush on you for about 25 years. Maybe not 25, that's too long. 20 years at least. Since 10 Things I Hate About You. So, you know, birthday shout-outs to Julia Stiles. Trying not to enrage my wife with anything too ridiculous. But Julia Stiles, little baby crush from back in the day. All right. You guys even know that, don't even know who that is, but whatever, that's fine. Okay, our top 10. I think it's time. for the top 10. I need like intro music to the different parts. Once we get the new overlay on, it's got the ability, we're going to have a theme song and like some intro music, but the top 10. The top 10 Donald Trump quotes since becoming president. And let me tell you, this was a hard one because if you Google Donald Trump quotes, let me tell you, Donald Trump has said a lot of stupid stuff and a lot of unbelievable stuff too. So here we go. Oh, don't touch the face again. Oh, God, it's touching the face. Stop to think about how many times you touch your face. It's crazy. So many. Okay. Here, these are actual Donald Trump quotes, and some of the weird ones I'm going to try to put in a little context for you. But getting ready for this upcoming election, he said, "The only reason to vote for a Democrat is if you're tired of winning." How's that winning working out now? That's an actual Donald Trump quote. Also, Donald Trump on the Oscars, lowest rated Oscars in history. Problem is, we don't have real stars anymore, except your president, of course. Yes, the president of the United States said that. Then he was asked about what's this with people calling you elite, and he said, well, I don't think we're elite. Here's what he said. We've got more money. We've got more brains. We've got better houses. We've got nicer boats. We're smarter than they are, and they say the elite. Actual Donald Trump quote. You cannot make this stuff up, people. Number 7, Don Vermillion's top 10 favorite Donald Trump quotes since becoming president. Great personality and very smart. Good combination. Is he talking about me? No. Is he talking about himself? No, surprisingly not. No, he's talking about Kim Jong-un, Korean dictator. President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Number 6. I loved my previous life. I had so many things going. This is more work than my previous life. I thought it would be easier. I too thought being the president of the United States would be easier. But turns out no. All right, here we are. This one about declaring a national emergency. Is he going to declare a national emergency? Our boy, the Donald, was asked, and he said, I'll probably will do it. Yes, he said, I'll probably will do it. Maybe definitely. That's like when you ask me and you haven't handed in any assignments or done any work and you failed all the tests. Sir, do you think I could get the credit? And I'll say, I think you'll probably will do it. Maybe definitely. Come on. All right, number 4. Donald Trump quote since becoming president to his interviewer. I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed. How can you argue with that logic? I mean. And number 3. Number 3 Donald Trump quote. The greatest phrase, I think, in the history of politics is on all those red and white hats. It's make America great again. That's the greatest phrase in the history of politics. Not Abraham Lincoln 7 years ago when we decided to, Civil War speech, Gettysburg Address. No, not that one. Not I Have a Dream by MLK, or not even Ronald Reagan's Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. No, it's Make America Great Again by Donald Trump. Now, interesting Make America Great Again note, he didn't even say that. Actually, the aforementioned Ronald Reagan's campaign slogan was, let's make America great again. And he won on that slogan. And Trump didn't even come up with his own slogan, just chopped the let's off and said, make America great again, threw it on a hat. MAGA, that's right. Oh, Donald. All right, here we are. The number 2 Donald Trump quote since becoming president. This is a recent one. Coronavirus discussing the United States is the most prepared country in the world. Followed by, it's going to disappear. One day, like a miracle, it will disappear. Thank you, Donald. How's that working out? And our number one Donald Trump quote since becoming president for teachers everywhere, he says, I would give myself an A+. Thanks, Donald. And that is your top 10 Donald Trump quotes since becoming president. That's where we are. Now, song of the day and movie of the day. The song of the day, despite me putting up to like max volume on the speakers, does not come through. But as I mentioned, with the new fancy technology that's imminently coming to the show, I'll be able to play the song as well as other little bits and stuff, and you'll hear it. But the song of the day is by REM. It's an 80s, 90s band. And it's called It's the End of the World as We Know It. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's a good track about the end of the world. And finally, the movie. It is with OBS, Logan. Thank you for, yes, your tip on the website was helpful. And then I did a lot of like trial and error and making up streams and failing and trying again. And you're going to see it live soon. Next week, it's getting unveiled. Well, you'll see it in class first, but other people will see it live on the stream for the DVL. Don Vermillion Live. We have a short form now. Also, I'm not saying who, but somebody might have bought donvermillion.com and donvermillion.ca and redirected them to my YouTube page. I don't know who would have done something crazy like that. But yes, as a matter of fact, somebody that you know owns donvermillion.com now. That said, movie of the day. Just watched it yesterday. It's brand new. It's our boy Ben Affleck starring in The Way Back. It is a sports movie that's not about sports. He is like a down on his luck guy that's had some tragedy in his life, and he's really sad, and it's kind of sad. But then it gets happier, and he coaches this basketball team and inspires them. And it's a really kind of heartwarming yet sad, but it's a little bit for everybody. Like if you like sports, it's for you. If you like guy stuff, it's for you. If you like emotional stuff, it's for you. It was a pretty good movie, I gotta say. Ben Affleck, he's all beardy now too. Beardy Ben. He looks good. Scruffy, rugged, handsome. Oh, Ben. All right. Which brings us to, where am I? I'm scrolling up the screen here. Viewer questions. Viewer questions. Before we get to the viewer questions, just a reminder that once again, I have salsa. The show is brought to you by Diet Coke. Corona beer does not cause the coronavirus. And Royale tissue paper. It's what's up for your butt. Royale, these slogans, you should use them. I have so many. I'll be happy to share them for you. Just cut me a royalty check, and I'm in. All right. So some of the questions we got today. I'm going to check the Insta to make sure there were no last-minute questions as well. Let's just check that here. Okay, nothing new from previously. So, questions. What was up with the football championship? Yes, this here, a genuine TDSSA, lots of A's, football championship medal. If you were with us year before last, you won one of these. But you won't win one this year because they won't let us back in the league because of too much winning. So all the TCDSB schools, we're back in our own league, a league of our own, if you will. And they're not letting us back in because of all the winning. I don't know if you saw us last year, but there wasn't quite as much of all the winning as but I'm just saying, you think you would want to step up to our level rather than just say, we don't want those guys in the league. They win too much. Haters gonna hate. What can you do? And somebody asked, can we have more about Connolly on the show? Oh, I think we can make that happen, my friends. As a matter of fact, we are planning a Connolly versus Trudeau showdown. Who wore it better? But I need graphics for that. So once we have the graphics, we'll have our Connolly versus Trudeau death match. And we'll discuss what qualities each one of them has that would cause them to win in a to the death battle, what kind of weapons they might bring to said battle. And yeah, I feel like, we'll have like whose stern stare is more terrifying. We'll discuss important things like that. And I know Mr. Connolly will appreciate it. I am positive. All right, and finally, a quick story. Somebody asked, I brought Maestro Fresh West to the school last year, if you were with us. Maestro, we got our birthday. This guy and you share a birthday, March 31st. It's coming up. I will text you. It is like the one time a year I text you, other than if we're booking you for something. And I will text you the annual happy birthday message I've been sending you that you rarely reply to, but that's okay. To be clear, Maestro and I are not like close personal besties or something, but I met him through a friend. And we were going to Public Enemy, as I mentioned before, is one of my favorite all-time bands. And I had a friend who I used to work with, and we were going to the show. I wanted to go to the show, and I called up, hey, let's go to the show. And he's like, absolutely, I'll get us in. Don't worry about tickets. And I was like suspicious. I'm like, I don't know, but that seems. But he's like, I guarantee I'll get us in. Don't worry. So he picks me up. We drive down there. We get to the show, and he's like, don't worry, we're gonna get in. My buddy Wes is gonna meet us at the door. He's gonna get us in the show. It'll all work out. We get out of the car, and who's standing there? Maestro Fresh West. And I'm like, this guy's name's Kane, by the way. He's a really nice guy. Kane, if you ever see this, what's up, man? I miss talking to you. But Maestro is standing there, and he's like, hey, what's up? And he gives my buddy a hug, and I'm like, when you said your friend's name was Wes, you didn't tell me it was like the only famous Wes other than like, I don't know, Wesley Snipes. And he was in jail at the time. So Maestro. So I literally got to see Public Enemy at the Sound Academy, which was like, I know, back in the day, no Sound Academy, it's called something else now. Front row, standing next to Maestro here and Chauclair, another local hip hop star here. I was like, this is celebrity fame moments and stuff. The only thing I ever had to top that is I actually got a chance one day to rap on stage with Public Enemy, which I'll talk about in another broadcast. And that's like my hip hop life. I could make a reality show or something. I know, humongous white dude rapping with like some of the best. It was pretty exciting. Anyways, that is my Maestro story. So I got his number from there, and I don't know. I hadn't talked to him in ages and ages, and then I was like, "Oh, we'll see if he wants to come talk to the school." And showed up, he did, and Maestro brought the house down, so that was terrific. We'll bring him back hopefully soon if we ever have school again. Otherwise, maybe we can get him on a broadcast here. I'll even put myself up here in the box and give him the big part of the screen. I'm willing to do that for you, Maestro. Nobody else. Well, maybe Chuck D too. Get Chuck D on here. We'll do that too. But I'll give you the big part of the screen, and I'll take the little part of the screen. I'm willing to do that just for you. Just hit me up. Get on the show, man. Anyways, we are out of time, people. That I know. Time flies when you're having a good time. But that is live from Dixon Saturday night with Don Vermillion. Hopefully everybody checks it out. Tell your friends, even if they missed the episode, they can go back and watch it on the YouTube. It's worth it. These jokes never get old, people. Just ask my wife. Well, maybe don't ask her, but trust me, they're fresh. So, on that note, if you don't know, now you know. I'm Don Vermillion.